This is the pattern. Copy the size you're interested in. The jeans you're reusing should be old and torn, but also quite wide in the legs. Choose which seam you want to save and cut next to the other one. Make sure you have enough fabric and cut close to the knee. Lay the fabric right sides together and seam to seam. I'm going to use the existing hem, so I'm putting the pattern right at the hem, and then I add 1 centimeter in seam allowance. I'm going to add a few decorations, for example small back pockets, so you cut 2 of those, and you might want to take some of the labels and so from the pants. Hem the sides of the pockets, start at the top and work your way around. Hem with 1 centimeter. When I am sewing visible seams, I'm using a brown thread. I start at the top and then I sew close to the edge. I have also marked some decorations which I'm sewing with a narrow zigzag stitch. I'm going to reuse one of these pockets as a side pocket on the baby jeans, so I rip them from the original jeans. Make sure that you know what's the front and the back of your pants and you pin your pockets in place. Sew close to the edge and make sure that you backstitch where you need to. If there are any studs on the old jeans, you can just jump over them and continue. Zigzag all the edges of the jeans, and your zigzag should be on the edge. I have marked what is the front, and now I'm going to sew the inseam of the legs. So make sure that you know what part is the leg, and you put them right sides together, pin them, and sew with 1 centimeter inseam allowance and a straight stitch. Press all the seam allowances apart. One of the pieces you turn with the right sides out, and you turn that piece inside of the other one. So now the fabrics are right sides together. Line up the seams and you pin this seam. So this is the grain line you're going to sew with 1 centimeter inseam allowance and a straight stitch. Now you're almost finished. On the waistline you're going to fold about 3 centimeters towards the wrong side. But before you sew the waistline, you might want to add a fake fly. I just draw a line and I sew it with a brown thread. I make a double stitch, so I sew with a straight stitch twice. Hem the waistline, so now you sew a straight stitch around the hem. You can sew with 2 centimeters inseam allowance from the folded edge. Do not sew all the way around. You need to leave an opening so you can thread in the elastic. Measure your child's waist and cut an elastic. I use a safety pin to pass it around in the waist of the pants. Sew the elastic together. Once the elastic is in, you can close the opening with a straight stitch. You can also add other details, but it might be a bit more tricky because now it's going to be quite thick. But once you are finished, you press your jeans.